then server, MONGOD, then Mongo, and then anyway, of course, as we even did not created any database, sorry, you can say any collections and nothing else records. So it won't show here. We will be creating. We write use. What is that name of that? In server.js itself, we have written right now itself. Mean crude app. Okay. So now come to the point of index dot sorry. Come to the point of app.html file. We have designed a form. Okay. And we want to see the results. So let us do one thing. Yesterday we actually created 3, 6, and 3. But let us do now. Make it something a form with 4, and then at right hand side column 8 columns. Then here we want to display the details, right? So table class table space table hyphen bordered. Then show users details. The first column we can say an ID. The second column we can say a name and address right now. The second column as name. The third column as address. Additionally, the first column, second column, and the third column. And here let us write call span 2. How many columns? One, two, three, four, five. Call span five. And then here, then. So we have done with we can say headings. And then now let us write tr. First column, second column, third column, then fourth for edit, fifth. This we will write after writing that functionality. So we are done with the component.html. Where is that component? I mean component.ts file here. So here along with the component, and we even can also use on IN80. It's something like same initially, what can I say, initiating the values. Import form group, form control, validators, and form forms module. All these are coming from Angular forms. Additionally, we just import that common service also. Common service from then HTTP response headers, Angular HTTP. I just yesterday installed that requirement of completing of our session, and then component.html and app component, and then now. So here we are keeping ready a response data with empty for time being, and then we have yesterday given in the submit button VALBUTTON as a property right now. That is because it should make something dynamically change. If it is first record, sorry, if it's adding of a record, you can say save. If it is an editing of record, that button that should save, sorry, that button that should convert to the, what you can say, edit. That's why. Okay, so that is right. Then, so now let us write VALBUTTON and that equals to, then as soon as, I mean, on IT is a module is having a built-in function which is called, I mean, like constructor. You can say ng on in ng on in it, and with this that you are connecting to the new service. We can say I'm just writing this dot new service dot, let us do one thing. Hmm, okay, hold on. After that things, write a constructor, make it a private, anything, common service or new service or whatever it is. New service, like as already we have written at a observable place, the same concept here, and that is common service. Then new service dot, see, as already what we have written, delete get user, delete get to save user, get users dot, we need to fetch. So you have to use the built-in function which is called subscribe, and this subscribe is holding a data and getting into the response data. Does not exist in the void. Okay, let us just check it out. Then when user, let us think that when user clicks on save button here, then we need to save. So what is that function that we have given? On save. So on save, and that equals to function that values, and is it true or false, that is validating with either enter that user all the details or not. based on that. And user dot mode, and that equals to with this dot val button, right? When you are going to adding a new record, that it has to show a save which is default. Then new service, this dot new service dot, why it is not accepting here. Okay, save user of that user is, that is we are sending that details dot subscribe of a data that you are just alerting the meaning of this one is from the data property you're fetching the data from the input element and you're passing. Once it is done, then you are giving a call this dot ng on init. Additionally, if something is went wrong, then error this dot error message, and that equals to error. So this is how we can save the details of user. We are passing to that what you can say common dot service, and that will connect to the database. So I mean where we can pass that URL, and from that URL it will connect to the database. So then after saving, let us write edit also. Editing that you are going to pass a particular thing. I mean, let me write in edit and delete functions. Also, then we can go with the final to the next point. Edit the name of that function, and that equals to function of something record or whatever you want. And this dot id, and that equals to that is you are creating a local property directly, and that rec d. Then this dot name. If you observe from where these properties are coming from, the things what we have given schema rect dot name. Here the MongoDB ID is dot underscore ID na. this dot address dot that value button you are changing to update. And at last, in the same way, delete, delete, and that equals to function of recd this dot new service dot what is that method del user del user id dot here you are going to pass not a record id now. Of course, here also you can say id only, but record we are passing something, we are passing here an id. Then subscribe data data with that is displaying. And once it is done, we are I mean after deleting we are resetting again, so we can say ng on init comma this dot error message and that equals to error. So these are all the things that we require. That is when user is taking an action, correspondingly we have written buttons and sorry, correspondingly we have written that definitions. So now what we have to do, okay, let us think that you have saved the data and this you are going to copy into your response data. So what you have to do means just let us complete that concept of displaying a number of rows. I'm the records. So as we know, a directive which is ng for and that equals to let we can say recd record of response data. At the same time, let ind something whatever you want and that equals to index that you are extracting one by one record. So ind plus 1 that is showing 1 which is default 0 right now. So recd dot name recd dot address and then you can create a button or else let us do one thing. Let us create an anchor element also. anchor element A, class btn space btn hyphen info. When you click on this, that is opening closing parenthesis of event handler, and that equals to edit of RECD, right? Is it correct? Record your passing. Whereas another button, sorry, another link, class btn space btn hyphen then here you have edit and delete. Okay, so now delete RECD dot underscore ID, which is MongoDB ID. Delete. So now we are ready to see that output, and then now come to the point of functional in service. In component.ts, save user, get user, and delete user. We have written these methods. Let us write in the service. As already we have kept ready. Now let us work it. Then return this dot http dot post method, and inside this you just can write local host, even if it is deployment also. You can say localhost colon 8080 API save user. Based on the data what we have given, and that should be mapped. The observer is not accepting. Let us do one thing. Let us write the total code where once it is mapped, response colon response built-in property response dot the data what we are passing, and that just we are mapping the row by row. The same way, return this dot http dot get localhost 8080 get user dot map response with the response in the format of can say response dot JSON. So you're just here in the version 9 we have something different to change, but actually do one thing. As I already told you in the previous session also, just make it version approximately 6. Okay, it will work this methods. I mean how you can I'm saying about the Angular version. So you can just type ng npm space install space hyphen g space, or you can say at the rate of Angular forward slash CLI at the rate of 6, like this. Okay. So, because in the latest there is a beta now it is running, which is installed according to the things what we have updated. So this is having some changes. We even have to get check it out. But one thing, the total process is or the logic is common only. Only the methods and it's something we have differences. Okay, let me write at the final point. Return this dot http dot post and then delete user. Delete user based on the ID which we have given, and dot map response 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 dot JSON. And these has to you have passed with the URLs to connect, and the final point is you have to enter into server.js file where you have to do this as you are getting. Okay, here API save you user, get user, delete user, the same you have to write here. Then now var embody that is model new space model of req dot vo divide. The meaning you are taking the data from the input elements. If req dot vo divide dot if it is save, I mean the button name save we have written lowercase now. Then the data is having a built-in function of error comma data. That is we are just checking that if there is any error, we show error, otherwise successful. If error, then that response dot send that error message to the browser, or else response dot send data record inserted. That's it. It is totally if. That is if it is a button save. Then for example else then how I mean else here either save or edit. Both are at one place itself we are giving. Then else a data which is already saved now that you are editing. Find by ID and update. And here req.body.id. Then name, name and address, which are fetching from the input elements. Body dot address. Then response dot send. Based on that line number 43, based on the ID matching, you are updating. If it is successful, if it is failure, we are writing the conditions. So here send record updated. We have written both things at one place itself. I mean, what you can say, adding and updating. So now let us write get user API get user and then model dot find all the records. If you want any query that you can write, or else function err comma data. If err response dot send err else respond dot send of data. That is just where this data we are displaying in the then remove underscore id that is based on the request dot function err if err one so response dot error else response dot send data. So with this we are done with almost all the concepts, I mean functionality Then go to the index page. Okay, anyway, we have written bootstrap link already. So no need to, uh, right? We are done. So now what you have to do means you have to run client and server both things. First, ng space, server space, but actually with the map and observables, we are getting some errors that is already guessing. Once this is client is done, then we can just open another terminal. There you have type node space server.js that connected to server with as already we have opened and running the database. So then it will open that output. Let us wait. Please wait. Once it is completed something, then we can see that output if it is successful, or else if it is having an error, we try to resolve it. Because actually in version 9, even I did not have to check. I did not check it, so we just take it out. So let us see now. We have, okay, there is map is having problem. It is not fetching the details. But anyway, let us do one thing. Even export star from, we cannot find module. RxJS compact, okay. RxJS compact, where is that we can say in the comment service. RxJS hyphen compact, and anyway we just open and we even run node space server dot js. It is okay. I mean the object connection, database connection, everything is okay. And then let us let us see here. RxJS observable, cannot find module in Angular even. Okay, for example, let us write. Let us just check it whether it will be having a solution. So we just write npm space install space rxjs hyphen compact. Let us install that one. Npm space install space rxjs hyphen compact. Pat hyphen save. So then just let's check it out here. Mm, Actually, it is correct only, but I mean it is in okay. If it is not still working, then we even again use install separately RxJS. So let us see what is that error now. In app component required name, it's 16. That is not an issue, but type text, address, name, and value. But this is not an error. Let us Let us wait. We are waiting. Hold on for just 1 or 2 minutes. If it is not working, we'll just reconnect once again. Let us see now. Errors in no, this is not. Actually, the problem is not this one. On save, user form and value in component.ts file on save right now. Then let us do one thing. Okay, let us do one thing. Mm, anyway, I will just check it out that version 9, how it is going to be resolved these problems. Actually, this is not a problem with the HTML. It's just a point of at observables only. If it is not working, I mean, if there is no solution, we no need to bother about it. We just can go even with the previous version. Okay, and at the same time, I will find out the solution. And once it is completing, I will just check it out now. Once I just check it out, I will upload so far whatever all the things what we have discussed, the files into the drive, and at the same time, the recordings anyway as you have already receiving, I guess. So what I say finally is I will just check it out and will upload the code and even what you can see the code that I will upload now that you can just check it out only a few changes. The logics will be same only the models sorry modules or something else which is a problem that we just have to check it out. That we'll just check it out and we'll let you know. And we'll let you know means we'll update the files. So only one thing that is what we have to just check it out, right? So this is how you can resolve. You can even try at your end, same coding as I'm going to upload, and then just check it out and try to resolve. Or else if you have anyone have an idea, you can also let me know. When version, I mean, not only version, if you have any one idea how we can resolve it, we can also resolve it. But I guess it's not a problem with the HTML. So we just have to change that concept of observables modules, how they have used some additional built-in or changing that existing built-in functions of map and subscribe, these two functions. Okay. So with this, what I finally say is let's discuss this point up to this point, and I will update that files once I have resolved the things, and will let you know to the team members that you have updated that latest files. Okay. And then the point is, as we have discussed the concept of full stack from HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, JavaScript, React, AS6, and what is it, MongoDB, Node.js, and even what is it now, an Angular. With this, we are done. We are done the total course, and at the same time, you just go through all the functionalities. If you require anything, sessions that to discuss any doubts or something else, you just contact to the concerned team, your team members, and they will inform to me. They will plan for it. So today it's done. Is it okay to all of you? Or if you want to discuss this point, especially even, I mean, why I'm saying especially, I will discuss, I will write the code, I will just miss because it's a problem with the version. We have to spend some time. Even when I get some leisure today or tomorrow or somewhere else, I will just check it out and I will upload the same code with some small changes that you can find it out. Okay? Okay, all of you? So I request you to please go through the things what we have discussed from the beginning. At the same time, that's what I told you. Even I have already uploaded some files. Only few latest files I did not upload it. That I will upload today itself, and the team members will forward to you. Okay? Then have a look at it and do the things. And I wish you all the best to all of you. Finally, I say we are ending up the sessions. If you are having okay, if you are okay, or else if you want to discuss anything, please let me know. I'm not hurrying you, just giving information.
So, he told you that you will give us a project to do. So, what about that?
Project. This is what we can say
To
application.
practice,
Sorry,
to practice.
practice project. I will do one thing. I will upload the documentation, the project, even the source code sample functionalities, how you can do it. Okay. Actually here, even I have an option of able to show, but I don't have an option of able to log in into the project because I'm working for the company right now. So I need to even get something from outsource that I will create a document for you, the theme, and as well something the what you can say steps how you can resolve even it MERN at the same time even it mean. Both we have separate concepts with concept of all the I mean HTML which will be involving. So I mean Node.js and MongoDB. Already we have done successfully with the Marin stack. Only with the concept it means that we have facing issue with the latest version. Otherwise, it would be completing a sample application here also. Hmm? Right now. And especially means, I mean, I will send the documentation with some project titles, some project descriptions, and even the source codes, some sample source codes also, where you can put it into that and you can do it. That is what, if after doing that, if you have any queries, if you want to discuss something, inform to your team members, we'll discuss plan. We'll plan for the session separately again. Hmm? Sorry, your voice is too low.
Okay.
So, finally, finally, what I say is do it, whatever you have done. Almost we are and only one point we are left this point. That I will just don't worry about it. I will just check it out anyway. Even I have to deal with another batches now, so I will just check it out and I will upload it. Don't worry about it. Hmm? Right then. Okay then. Thank you and bye and all the best to all of you. Right then.